going on, people? It's John.
Hi.
This is Adriana. And this chat is going to be archived, so if you're watching this channel for the first time, I do encourage you to hit that subscribe button. And tonight's topic is going to be, is Mexico City safe to travel to or not? We've gotten a lot of questions about living here the past 5 weeks now. If anyone's joining, definitely let us know where you're from. We want to talk about Mexico City a little bit. I've got Adriana here, who is from San Luis, but she has a lot of perspective on living and traveling in Mexico, so I wanted to bring my girlfriend on to make the chat a little bit more interesting. If you're just joining us, I see there's a bunch of you. Give me a thumbs up and say where you are watching this live chat from. I'm curious. Where are you guys from? Who wants to say hello?
Yeah, I want to know.
Anybody from Mexico? I know we have a bunch of viewers from Mexico right now. And everyone is so shy right now. No one wants to chat.
They're just curious about me.
They're just curious about you. I'll give people a few more seconds. We're about to chat. Glenn from Chicago. How are you, Glenn? Yes, I remember you. We talked about the Filipino videos. Yes. Glad some people are saying hi. Anybody else before we get started? Hello again from McAllen. Right on the border. Nice. Patrick Investments. Yo, how are you? All right, we're going to get started. And hola, Blake. What's going on? And if anybody has any questions while we talk, Katya from Tampa, we're just going to be discussing about safety away from Chicago in Mexico and spending a long period of time here, if you should travel here. And I'm going to let Adriana do more of the talking as the local Mexican person. So I guess let's start with this. If anyone wants to ask any questions, if you're visiting from the U.S. and you come to Mexico City, what sorts of things should you be aware of as a tourist?
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, I think most of you like to travel with your, like, taking pictures or have all your devices out, like your phone or I don't know. So I would say be careful with that. Like, since you're a tourist, I don't want to say it's not safe. It's very, very safe if you are careful. You have to remember always that you are in another country and maybe you're gonna get all the attention for bad people maybe. So be careful with your own stuff. Always hold it like very carefully, like I don't know, like for example with your camera, what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I do the vlogs around here. I've actually walked around a lot of neighborhoods even using a big tripod and my regular camera. And I think that the rule of thumb of Mexico City, for me at least, is during the day. If you're in any of the major touristy neighborhoods, I'm talking about Condesa, Roma, Centro. Oh, a lot of Havana people, hi. Like any of the main Mexico City areas where there's a lot of tourist activities, anything in the center pretty much during the day, you really don't have a lot to worry about. I think at night is where I would be a little bit more concerned about flashing a camera. At least if you're somewhere where you don't know your surroundings very well or it's dark.
Exactly, yeah. And also if you're in a crowded place and you have your bag, I will suggest you to put it in front so you can take care of your stuff. Like, you never know. I don't want to say that people in Mexico are bad, but it's better if you are careful here because in crowded places you don't know when someone is gonna take advance and it's gonna take something from your pocket or your backpack or something.
For anyone who's just tuned in, we're talking about Mexico City in particular, but if you have any other questions, feel free to shoot them. And of course, I think a lot of these kind of safety tips apply for traveling to Cuba. I know some of you out there are about to go to Havana, although I think Havana has a little bit less crime than Mexico City for sure. One thing I do want to note, Gerardo Ramirez, we're going to New York actually in 2 weeks. So vlogs are going to be back to the U.S. for a little while. One thing we've done a lot, we've showed it in many of our vlogs, is we have taken Uber tons of times. Uber is like your best friend in Mexico City, especially if you're a foreigner. Think about it this way. You don't have to deal with cab drivers. They don't really care where you're from. No one's going to take advantage of you because Uber has set rates. You wanted to say something about that, right?
Yeah, taxis are, I don't know, bad. Actually, I use them a lot. But if you're afraid, and obviously sometimes it's very obvious that you're from another country, they will know that you're not from Mexico. And for example, with Uber, you have a map or you can know the road you are taking. But let's say that you want to go to a place you don't know where it is. And maybe you're here and that place is like 5 minutes away. So maybe a taxi driver, I don't want to say all of them, but maybe it's gonna take you, I don't know, like driving around to charge you more, and you never knew that you were so close, no? So I think it's better, and also they hear you speaking English. I think maybe they will want to charge you more. Than if you're Mexican. We had like little tip, don't speak English at the time.
Yeah. Somebody just asked about what are the mercados. I think it was Mercado Sonora and Tampico. Was that the market we were talking about that I wanted to visit?
Sonora, yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, that's the market I wanted to visit. I think if you do go there, go obviously during the day. Don't wander into like strange little alleys. I've read on TripAdvisor, a lot of people said that marketplace was not as bad as everybody thought, but they said do not bring a camera there.
Yeah.
Because of the way we talk. Because you're from McAllen, Texas. So I guess it's like the Tex-Mex accent. But she did make a funny point about taxis in Mexico. We just did a video about Valle de Bravo. And we did a couple of experiments where we would take taxis and there was no meter. We would never ask how much it cost, which maybe was our first mistake.
Yeah.
And if I would speak English to her just a little bit, I think the fare was something like 60 or 70 pesos. One night we made a deal. I'm not saying a word. You just talk.
Just pretend you're Mexican.
It was like it was 30 pesos, I think.
Yeah.
So I think there is some truth to that. You might get a little bit of a tourist tax especially if you look maybe even more gringo than I do, for sure. Or if your Spanish isn't that good.
Yes.
But we definitely recommend Uber over taxis.
And it's really cheap, so.
As far as like something I want to talk about, nighttime walking in Mexico City, this is something I even dealt with the other day. Even in the good neighborhoods, I would still advise you if the street is dark and you see kind of people that don't look too nice, they look kind of strange, just avoid it. There's a lot of like main avenues in Mexico City, and we don't walk too much at night. We've never had a problem. People tell us Roma Norte is pretty safe, but you have to remember, even though it appears very nice here, there are still sometimes issues with crime. If you visited Guadalajara,
no, it wasn't on your list, in our list, remember?
Yeah, when we were debating where to go in Mexico, Guadalajara actually was one of my top
it was
three.
Like Mexico City, Monterrey, Guadalajara.
But we picked Mexico City because I spent some time here in October and I loved it. I would also suggest if you get an Airbnb, and this is totally optional, we have a doorman here. I mean, I would be fine if this building didn't have a doorman, but if you're like extra paranoid about security, a lot of Airbnb properties do have doormen, and it is a nice thing to have at night. I mean, I admit I kind of like having a doorman in this building. It's not normally something I look for when I travel, but when you come from the United States, obviously your dollar's worth a lot here. You can spend just a little bit more and get that peace of mind if you want. I mean, do you think people really need a doorman here?
No, I think, you want to read it?
Go ahead, yeah.
I think it's not that bad, like, you just need to lock the door and be sure it's, like, you close all the windows and everything. I have lived here, I mean, not in Mexico City, but in Mexico my entire life, and anything bad has happened to me, like, never, so, and I hope never get to happen, but, you just need to be careful. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about Mexico, but we need to be honest. And yeah, we have some crime. So you just need to remember that, like, be careful. It's better to be a little bit more like paranoid, like he said, than, I don't know, to lose all your stuff. Like, I don't know, like, be sure you lock the door, be sure you close all your windows. And if you can get like an apartment with a doorman, that will be like a great option. But it's like you're gonna be fine if you don't find one.
Okay, I saw a bunch of questions popping in here. Hey Nadia, nice to see you. First question was about data. I use Verizon, and Verizon has a plan for $2 a day where you literally just activate it and you can use your cell phone with the same data plan, same minutes as your US phone. I've been lazy, I admit it. It would be much cheaper to get a Mexican SIM card for like $10 a month.
$10 a month. And you can also call to the US and I think Canada, and you don't have to pay with AT&T. It's $10 per month.
But if you have Verizon, I don't know about Sprint. You asked about Sprint. Verizon, it's $2 a day, so I'm spending like $60 for like a month and a half. Second question was about my Español. You asked if it was advanced or intermedio. Mi español es intermedio. Estoy practicando más o menos.
Tu español es perfecto.
En su opinión, sí. Mi opinión, And then I think we had something else pop up about where they were going in the south of Mexico City. Gracias. South of Mexico City, because they want to watch a soccer game, which we have not done. And then I saw another comment about meeting up with other vloggers. Speaking of the way away, we met them today. We actually had breakfast with them and another travel vlogging couple called Chasing a Plate. And we might be doing a collaboration with them on Thursday. They're in Mexico City right now. They've published so many videos. They're actually backlogged a week. T-Mobile's free, okay. So guys, stay tuned. We might do a collab with them. I'm going to announce what we've got coming up. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to announce what we have coming up in a little bit, but I still want to talk more about like Mexico City and questions about, being safe here. Anybody out there have any more specific questions about Mexico City they want to answer before we move on? Give you guys a chance. And you can definitely give us a thumbs up if you're watching. We got a couple of thumbs up so far. I'd love to get a few more. And if anyone's new here or watching this on the archive, do hit that subscribe button and the little bell notifications so you get email, I believe, every time that we upload a new video. Thank you for the extra.
Oh, and also something I didn't mention is like if you are a woman and you are traveling by yourself in Mexico City, in the metro. I'm not sure in the metro, but there is something called Metrobus. It's like really cool, really safe, and if you are a woman, you have your special seats where only women can get. Like you don't need to deal with random guys or anything. Like I mean, it's bad for guys. I think it's, I don't know. I have weird feelings about it, but it's good. Like if you're alone and you don't want people bothering you, like random guys in the transport.
Do you? I mean, I'm curious. We've talked about this. Like, as a woman by yourself walking in Mexico City on the street, do you feel like unsafe at all?
Yes, honestly, I do. As I say, I don't like to talk bad about my country. I'm not feeling safe during the day. Like, it's not like I'm going out and something bad is gonna happen to me. But you kind of gonna hear bad comments. I think it's very common in many big cities. But I honestly prefer to walk with someone. And during the night, I don't like to walk by myself. Like I wouldn't recommend you to walk alone if you are alone.
So you'd say if a woman out there is watching this, you'd say never walk by yourself at night in Mexico City. Just take an Uber or cab. You prefer that?
Yeah, we prefer that. Unless it's like a really crowded place, like a tourist place, that I think is fine. But if you're leaving your apartment at night to go somewhere, I will recommend you to call an Uber and take it right in front of your apartment. Like, I think it's better.
Interesting. Any other tips for people visiting Mexico for the first time? Maybe.
I don't know about if they are safe or not, or
just about anything. I guess we could switch topics a little bit.
I don't know. Like, what can I say?
Favorite thing? Oh, we got a question.
What is it?
Favorite thing you've eaten so far in Mexico City? Mine was mango with tax and mosquitoes. Was our favorite meal today actually from that taco place?
Yeah, we went to a place called
San Taco.
San Taco, yeah.
It was just like hipster Mexican food place. I mean, there's a lot of hipster places, but the hipster Mexican mix, like everyone there was like tattooed up, was hilarious. And I wouldn't expect this spot to have such good food, and it was packed, and it had a great rating on Foursquare. Another insider tip for you guys: Foursquare is huge in Mexico City. Yelp.com has not made it. Hola. Yelp has not really made it here yet. Foursquare in Central South America, I've seen is way more popular. So they had an 8.5 on Foursquare. What did we order exactly?
We asked for something like a big burrito, like this big. But you can pick what kind of meat you want to put in your burrito, like beef, pork, chicken. You can pick, I think, 4, or you can pick 3 and 1 vegetables, or just vegetables. It's like, I love hilarious. You can choose whatever you want. And we asked for alambre. Alambre, I think it's beef with onions and peppers, and they mix it with cheese. and you made tacos with it. Like, it was delicious.
Actually, you know what's impressed me a lot about Mexico City, and I guess we could have explored this further. Some of the ethnic food, because when you think of Mexico, you just think, okay, it's gonna be tacos all day, every day. We have really good sushi here. One of our videos, what's that market called? Sumesa? Mikasa is this Japanese market. It's in. If you check my videos later, anyone's interested. It was called Mexico City's Weird. One of my favorite videos I've made so far, because there's a cool museum. But anyway, they have this market. And the main floor is just a Japanese supermarket, tons of sushi, and the top floor is ramen, and the bottom floor is like udon noodles and other stuff. I mean, I live in New York, not to sound snobby, but when you live in New York, you have so many options of food, and the food's really good in New York City. And it was on par with a lot of the better New York sushi places. I thought that was something I'd have to sacrifice. There's actually Indian and Thai food here, like every type of restaurant in Mexico City.
Find everything.
So, you know, if you come here, don't feel like you're going to be just stuck eating tacos and quesadillas.
And even if you are interested with tacos.
I mean, it's
tacos is fun.
Yeah, it's still fun.
I love tacos.
Anyone just join the chat, want to say where they're from? We got a couple of new people popping in. Give us a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe if you're new here. We've got a few videos coming out. We're leaving Mexico April 23rd, so we've got a week and a half left.
Yes, we have so much to do.
Yeah, that's a thing with like a place like Mexico City. Any big spot, you kind of come up with a list of things you want to do, and then what you actually do is maybe 50% of it, and then you improvise half of the time. And you know, for me, it's kind of difficult because all those videos you see, if it's a 10-minute video, the last one I made, I think it took me like 7 hours to edit. It's a lot of work. So it's something you should always remember about people that make YouTube videos. The toy store, yes. That's a great question. Is it a good idea to visit Mexico without any knowledge of Spanish? I'm gonna handle this one.
Yeah, ask him. He knows.
You know, I visited Argentina years ago, like 3 years ago, and I had like my very limited high school Spanish. I would say that I think Mexico City has more American influence than a lot of other places in Latin America due to the proximity to the U.S. border. I mean, it's only like a 4 or 5 hour flight from New York. I think it's going to limit some of the interactions you could have, at least on the authentic level. But I think most Mexicans are really patient. If you just speak a few words, if you can point, you know, English to Spanish isn't that big of a gap. It's not like you're going to Japan or China where the languages have nothing in common. A lot of words are similar or they've heard the word before. And if you're speaking to any young people, I'd say under 30, under 35, 40, a lot of them learned English in school too.
Yeah, like the kid in the store, remember?
So yeah, exactly. So like the older lady in the market might not be able to communicate well with you, but I would not let a lack of Spanish knowledge hold me back from visiting Mexico City. Yeah. I would let it motivate me to try to learn a few words though before you go, I think.
Yeah, if you don't speak English, I think you're gonna have a fun time trying to communicate with Mexican people, because we really enjoy to try to communicate with you even when we don't speak the language. And I think it's a great experience, so don't be afraid. You're gonna be fine. Yeah,
actually, for some of you out there going to Cuba, I think traveling in Cuba independently was way harder. I mean, I speak some Spanish. Someone said something in Spanish, I missed it, but I think Cuba was way more difficult for people that didn't speak English than Mexico. I think Mexico, they've got a long history with the United States, and they have a lot of reasons to learn English. Actually, just to give you guys a little preview of something coming up, tomorrow we're going to show you guys. Hi, Zyko. Hi. You're from Mexico. I got your message. Yes. We're going to show you guys what we do twice a week. I've never mentioned it on the vlog. We've actually been volunteering at a home for blind people, and we've been teaching them English. It is such a cool story. I'm not going to give too much of it away. What do you want to say about it?
Well, I just can say, like, it has been one of the best experiences in my life. Like, we are with these people. Some of them can see a little bit. Some of them are completely blind. So sometimes they ask, I remember they ask us how to improve their English, and I was thinking it's hard because sometimes when you see, you can see like the grammar in a book, or you can, I don't know, try to read something like, any newspaper, any book, but it's hard for them. So it was a challenge, but I think we are doing great, and these people are amazing. They like really want to learn, and I don't know, a really great experience.
Yeah, I mean, if any of you guys ever come to Mexico, maybe a month or more, we're gonna leave info during this video about this program. And even if you come to Mexico for a short period, without giving too much away, they have dinners where, get this, it's completely dark, and you can't see anything, and you get served food, and you're basically blind for 2 hours. So we kind of help them out with some of the aspects of running this dinner. And unfortunately, we can't go to the dinner because it's one day after. So even if you come to Mexico City, we're going to leave a link to the dinner as well. I think it's like $40 or $50. Estado Morales, what's up? So that's a cool activity that I would consider doing, even if I wasn't involved with helping these people learn English. But I think volunteering when you travel is really cool. The only issue is if you're only visiting somewhere for like a week or two, you might it's
you want to do more.
You want to do other things. I understand that, and a lot of programs aren't going to want to take you on if you're not going to be there for at least like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
That's all I can write in English. That's like my Spanish.
Oh, no te preocupes.
No te preocupes.
Él habla español muy bien.
Anybody else out there want to say hello? Any questions about Mexico in general, about Mexico City, about the channel we run? If you have nothing else to say, give me a thumbs up at least. Give you guys a second.
Let's see. What else do you want to say?
Well, we've got that coming up, and then on Friday, well, okay, possibly Thursday, we're not 100%, we might do a collaboration video with that vlogging couple Way Away. Their channel's awesome. They're on fire right now. Mm-hmm. And then Friday, we're doing a video where we're going to be going to a cocktail bar, Speakeasy. I'm not going to give away the name yet. And we're going to be taking like not a bartending class, like a mixology class.
Yeah.
Where the bartender's going to teach us how to make some drinks. And we're going to show you guys about this like whole experience, what we're going to be doing there. Apparently it's a really cool cocktail spot. And I admit that we have not gone out too much. I think we've been doing so much during the day, that Roma Norte, that I'm kind of tired at night. How's our experience been like with Roma Norte and safety?
I'm gonna mention your words. I'm gonna say the same you say. We live in a bubble because we have everything close, so we can walk to get everything we need, and it's very safe. We can be, I mean, of course we are careful, but we have been walking at night and nothing bad happened yet, I hope.
No, luckily. No, nothing.
And people are friendly, and I don't know, it's a cool neighborhood. Sorry. And yeah, we're like little in a bubble, and it's very safe. So if you're thinking about coming, I think it's a good place to stay.
Yeah, from my perspective, it has been it's been nice. Not the same in Condesa. I have not been to Condesa at night. If you could tell us more, I'm curious. Somebody asked if we were going anywhere else in Mexico. We're going to San Luis this weekend, San Luis Potosi, her hometown. She's very excited. Yeah. I've been there before. I actually did a couple videos. I might not even make any real vlogs from there. I might just vlog the bus ride. You'll see why I love the bus. But that's the only place we really have time for on this trip. We've got a week and a half left. We already went to Puebla, we went to Valle de Bravo, and in the future I would love to go to San Miguel Allende, Allende, Guanajuato, all the nice colonial towns. That's on my list. Maybe Guadalajara at some point. Obviously back to Mexico City. So we've got places we want to go to, but we called this video "Is Mexico City Safe?" And the other point I want to make about coming here, especially if you're going to be here more than a week. Visit La Legendaria. Do you know that place?
Sí, it's one of my favorite places in La Legendaria.
Why?
Like they have like a craft beer.
Yeah. Did we go?
No, we didn't go, but it's the same alley where we went. So it's cool. We need to go.
Don't recommend going at night to Condesa since there aren't a lot of police like in Roma or Nápoles. Okay, thank you for the tip. I really have not gone to Condesa too much. Come to Veracruz. Okay.
Veracruz, yeah, also. Mm-hmm. We need to go.
We could go there at some point.
Yeah.
My advice for Mexico City, though, in general, what I would tell a friend is that I think if you're visiting here, I would spend a little bit more money to stay in either Condesa or Roma Norte or one of the more touristy areas, just because a lot of the main attractions for tourists are kind of in a small, I'd say a small radius, but a pretty small area. That way you don't have to get stuck with some of the infamous traffic here, because if you're jumping neighborhood to neighborhood, you're going to have to take metros and buses, and I mean, it's going to waste a lot of time, especially during the day. The traffic here is horrible.
The traffic is horrible. Yes, it takes you forever to get to any other point of the city. Yeah.
Anybody else just join us? Want to say hi? We're gonna go for like 5 more minutes. I decided on 30 minutes today because I'm using Wi-Fi. We're at our apartment right now. My last 2 live streams, I used data. Hi Burke, what's up? My last 2 live streams, I used data. So Verizon basically had me pay extra money because I went over my data usage. So I had to spend $10 to get 2 extra gigs of data for like 5 days. So I decided I would make this live chat less exciting, even though I prefer to be outside to like show you guys stuff, because I think that's really cool, but this is much easier to do. So we already did, and if you're curious about this apartment, we did do a video about it. I think it was called Our Apartment in Roma Norte, if you're curious. It's interesting. The only thing we don't like is that we're like inside this like compound building, and not this like military, like a compound, but you can't get any light. You don't get good light from the windows, so if you're here for a long time, it's kind of annoying. So I'd say it's something always look at an Airbnb. Look at like reviews. Anyone complaining that there's not good light from the windows? Because sometimes if you're home a lot, you feel a little bit claustrophobic.
Yeah.
How's public transportation? Great question. You know, we met a lot of people that took public transportation during the day, and I'd say that it's super cheap. Yeah. We took the bus one time. The only issue here is it's really cheap and it's really crowded. So if you
My favorite one, I think, is Metrobus, which is like it's not a subway because it's not underground. How do you explain the Metrobus? Remember? I actually, if you want to see it, it's in one of your videos.
It was in a Lucha Libre video.
Yeah.
It's basically it's like a bus that's like attached to a little rail. I don't even know how I'd call it.
And it's like really fast because it doesn't stop just in the like official stops. That's the only time they stop. I think they don't need to follow the lights. I mean, they don't stop on the lights.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing is fast, it's cheap, and as I said before, women can get their special, like
women and children,
yeah, women and children, yeah. So yeah, you don't have to deal with a lot of things if you're a woman.
Yeah, but at the end of my stay in Mexico, I am planning on telling you guys exactly how many Uber rides I took and what the average cost was. Because I'll never forget this. The first day here, there were 7 lines. I connect the Estado of Mexico. Good point.
Yeah.
So I took a Lyft or Uber in New York to the airport, and it was something like $45, which I thought was cheap. My first ride from the airport in Mexico City to our apartment in Roma Norte was something like $5. It was like $5. And I thought it was the same distance as New York City. So again, especially if you don't speak Spanish well, I think just take as many Ubers as you can. If you're more adventurous, if you really want to save money, the subways was like 50 cents or something like that.
Yeah,
Right?
something like that.
We actually need to take the subway before we leave for sure. I want to do it. We did take the bus. I haven't taken the subway yet. Got a few minutes left. Anyone new want to say where they're from? We were talking about safety in Mexico City, about public transportation, about what we're doing this week. Anybody have any questions about Mexico in general? We're happy. I'll give you my perspective on the American side, her perspective as the Mexicans. We've kind of got 2 very different views on things. If not, we're probably going to wrap this up shortly. Should have a new video out Thursday, remember, about our volunteering experience here. I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to be a little bit different than my normal videos where I'm showing you like a tourist attraction. What's up, Burke? Nos vemos en Nueva York. Burke's my sister-in-law. Hi. So we're going to be showing you how we volunteer, again, with blind people, teaching them English. And it's awesome because she can speak to them Spanish perfectly. I get to practice my Spanish, and then I get to play the blind gringo, and they show me like it's really cool. It's like something. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. I'm telling you. I really hope that after you guys watch this video, you'll consider going to the dinners that they throw, or maybe volunteering with them if you ever pass through Mexico City. I got a minute left. Anything else you want to say to everybody out there?
In conclusion, I can
Conclusion, yeah.
English.
English is fine.
You have to visit Mexico. It's a beautiful country. Of course, you need to be careful and read about it before you come. But I think it's a beautiful place and it's worth you to come, and don't be scared. Like, you're gonna hear a lot of things in the news, and I can say you only will know until you come. Like, just do it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that a lot of the media stuff of Mexico's overblown, especially with the drug cartel stuff, which is a lot of it is based. Is it safer than New York? Good question. A lot of it is based on the borders, on the border towns. They have a lot more of the drug violence. I would say it is not safer than Manhattan. Definitely not. In Mexico City, I definitely pay more attention. Do I ever see drug cartels? No.
No.
Funny question from my older brother. But I will say this: in New York, if I walk at night, I'm probably not vigilant enough. I kind of only speak Spanish for 30 seconds. Is that a challenge?
Yeah, but like, yeah, you have to speak.
Okay, voy a responderle a mi hermano mayor sobre su pregunta. ¿Es DF más o menos seguro que Nueva York? En mi opinión, Nueva York es más seguro porque hay más seguridad, más policía. En CBMX la probabilidad de un crimen está más alto. No.
Un poco más alta.
Estoy pensando en inglés. Would our mother survive a day in Mexico City? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
She would be fine. We just
Yeah.
dictate if we took our mom to like a place to shop. There's so many cool markets. She would love that. Richard, did I pass a test? I think that was about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Muy bien.
It's good.
De nada, Richard.
No, I think it's like you need to be careful, but you will be fine. So don't be scared.
And again, all the videos we're making of Mexico City are in one place. I have a Mexico City playlist, so there's like 15 videos now. So if you want to know more ideas, and I still got probably at least like 5 more to make. So it's gonna be a pretty comprehensive list. Anyone just joined, you can say hello real quick. We're about to wrap this up. Any other questions? Give us a thumbs up. This is my 3rd live chat, and I think we've had more people every single time, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Celebrate my birthday, Mexico City next month. I'll let you know. Did you check out Reforma yet? I don't know. I hate Donald Trump. 2 questions before we go. Have we checked out Reforma?
Reforma is the place where we took the bus to go to Puebla. I think he hasn't yet, but I did before, and it's pretty cool because it's like you can walk and it's very safe, and sometimes you find nice things about art, like sculptures, paintings, or things like that. So it's pretty cool.
That's a great question from Jeff. Do Mexicans hate Donald Trump? I'm not going to answer it. I'll let her answer it. But I have seen some funny Donald Trump T-shirts in a couple places.
That's everything. I think there are people who just don't care about Donald Trump because they are in like a good position, like with money and all that stuff. So they are like not afraid because they have their visas. They don't need to go there for a job. But I think the hate comes from people that I don't know how to explain that. Like, what happened in the U.S. affects our economy, and we have a lot of people like poverty, like how do you say it? Like low level, like
lower income. Or...
Yeah, and it affects them. So I think some more people hate him, but don't believe that because they hate him, they are gonna do something bad to you. They are really friendly. He can tell you that the Mexican people is gonna help you in anything you need. Like, so don't worry. I don't know. I don't like to talk about politics. It's pretty hard.
No, we're not talking politics, but I'll say this. I have not felt a lot of backlash for being American here. And somebody asked, I've had a bunch of things pop in. My friend were to go to Cuba. Look, what's up? And happy Passover to you, Jeff. And was it Cusis? ¿Cómo se dice? Some kind of neighborhood that the guy just posted that we visited.
Can you write it?
Can you rewrite that? It was with a C.
It.
Have we visited somewhere in Mexico City? You know, it's interesting. I think if I had a Cuba chat, I'd probably get 100 people come because a lot of people discovered my channel from the Cuba videos, and now all the other vloggers are going there, and I'm saying it's all because of me. They're copying me. Because my Cuba videos performed super, like way better than I ever expected. I got a nice audience from there that I think are still watching a lot of my videos. And I still personally think the Cuba series is probably some of the best videos I ever made just because I was like focused on that entirely. I had nothing else to do. The internet wasn't working. It was just like my obsession making those videos. And in Mexico, it's a little easier to get distracted. I think the vlogs here are turning out pretty well also.
What was it?
It was
Cuicuilco, the oldest archaeological city in the city. No, Cuicuilco. No, we haven't been there. We need to see. We need to read about it.
If we have time, yeah, we don't have a lot of time. I feel like we have.
Yeah, we have so much things to do. We need to go to the museum. We need to go to the pyramids. We need to do a lot of things.
Yeah, we want to go to the Museum of Anthropology, and we want to film something from the what's it called, Chapultepec?
Yeah.
Chapultepec, the park. We want to get our friend with a drone to fly the drone over to the lake there, and then we want to be on this boat. I have some crazy ideas. My friend actually cut his finger. I don't know if he's watching this. Maybe he's watching. He cut his finger with a drone. Victoria beer.
He prefers Corona.
I prefer Corona, if anyone ever asks. Victoria versus Corona. But Corona is much more popular in the United States, for sure. In fact, I don't see Victoria that much. I see Dos Equis. I see Corona. And to answer Jeff's question, our dad does not like Mexican beer that much, I think. Metrobus Lima via Olímpica Estación. What about it? A lot of questions.
Yeah.
Museo del Objeto de Objeto. What's that?
No, I don't know.
And
we have a lot of things to do.
To answer Jeff's question, would I move to Mexico for good? I don't know if I'd move anywhere for good at this point in my life. I'm too much like I want to jump around, but I like to have a base in like New York in the United States. So the answer for now is I would not live here for good, but I wouldn't really want to live anywhere else for good. I like to just kind of see different places. Jeff's a good journalist. That's what he still does.
Yeah. I guess so.
Anybody else have any final questions? It's like I'm trying to wrap it up. And if you guys keep asking, we'll stay a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We have some new people joining. I think we're at 20 maximum, which is like a record. Because this is the longest live chat I've done so far. Maybe bringing her probably helped a little bit. Have a nice dynamic. Anybody else before we go? Any questions about Mexico City? About the travel channel? Maybe any recommendations? I know we have a lot of Mexicans watching us right now. It's like a nice core audience. I was looking at our analytics. I think Jeff will keep you going all night. I was looking at the analytics of this channel, and I was talking to my friends from the way away, and they have an amazing channel. Have you gone to Estadio Azteca? Not yet. Actually,
we want it, but we didn't find anything, like any event, I think.
I think they have a game maybe tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, it was tonight. Yeah,
but
so.
we didn't
I have been in Estadio Azul before, and I'm not a soccer fan, but it was really cool. So yeah.
Pyramids, yeah, I want to go. The problem is this week, it's Easter week, and there's so many people traveling. She was saying she thinks it's too crowded to go right now, right?
Yeah, some places are gonna be crowded. Yeah.
Have we been hiking? Yeah, we've been total city people. I brought nice hiking shoes from the U.S. and I used them only in Valle de Bravo to walk around the city. So that was a little bit of hiking, that whole area. We really haven't hiked too much here. If you have a good hiking trail, let me know. But I guess I didn't really come to Mexico City to do much hiking. I kind of came more for like the city experiences. A point I was quickly making before was that I look at the breakdown of who watches these vlogs from Mexico, and it's been like 30% US, 30% Mexico. And then I talked to some other channels, and they were telling me that they thought it was actually kind of hard to get the Mexican people interested in their content. But I think because of her and the fact that I'm learning Spanish too, they get more interested. How is Easter celebrated here compared to other countries?
Well, I don't know in every country, but for us, Easter, we celebrate it by the water. Most of the time, I like in San Luis. I don't know. I'm not sure in Mexico, but I think it's the same. But Mexico City doesn't have many options of water around. But for example, my family today went to Tampico because my family is there, like my mother's family, and they're gonna celebrate it at the beach. And that's for Tuesday, and then for Friday and Saturday they have a barbecue by the river, and it's really fun. So most of the families look at a place with water, either the ocean or a river or a lake, to celebrate.
And it seems like in the U.S. Easter is just like a one-day thing. In Mexico, it's a couple days.
It's
right?
a couple days because we celebrate Jesus Christ. Sorry, my English.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, like when he was crucified, the 3 days until he, how do you say it, revivió?
Resurrected?
Resurrected, yeah, that's why.
And as someone asked if we went to actually we did go to ballet folklorico. I've actually never talked about it on the video, so we didn't vlog, and it was awesome. Great tip, actually. If you come to Mexico City, if I ever make a video about like top 10 places to visit, Bellas Artes, the palace, it was in my last video about Instagram. That big palace is a theater as well. They have an amazing show, and you can go there and buy tickets to sit like in the U.S. expression nosebleeds all the way at the top. $5, and it was like an hour and a half, and it was like all different types of Mexican dancing, and it was incredible. It was definitely like a can't miss activity if you're coming to Mexico City.
And no, we don't do the bunny thing with the eggs and all that. No, we don't have that in Mexico.
That's actually a good question about Easter, because I know that this whole week everybody's pretty much off for Easter. ¿Cuáles son sus colonias preferidas?
I think it's Roma Norte, Condesa, and that's it.
Well, those are the two we spent the most time in. I actually kind of like Centro a bit. I like a lot of the historic.
Oh yeah.
I like the area around Bellas Artes. If you're gonna visit Mexico City, I'm sure you're gonna see it. Also, check out again in my last video the post office. It's amazing. It's like a cathedral in there. So that whole central area, they have like a lot of big attractions. So I've walked around there 3-4 times. It's been pretty cool. Zona Rosa. We were there.
I liked it.
We had dinner at a Korean restaurant there with somebody. It's cool. I don't really know much about it.
I have been there with a friend before in January, just one time, and it's really cool if you want a nightlife, like going to bars and some places to drink. It's a little bit crowded and loud during weekends, but I think it's a nice place. I like it.
All right, before we go, if you think I should bring her back for another live chat, give me a thumbs up right now. I had to drag her to come, but no, I'm happy. You did a great job. It's like the Village in NYC. Well, I live in Greenwich Village, actually. Do you mean like East Village, West Village, Greenwich Village, or just like the whole area? See. Thumbs up.
Yay.
Hey, you have a lot of fans now. See?
Yeah, no. Thank you.
Beauty and the Gringo.
The Beauty and the Gringo.
That was a joke I made in my last video. I came up with that joke. Somebody put it in the comments because I said it. It wasn't his idea. It was my idea. If I ever need a funny channel name, although I did see a YouTube video today, more like East Village. The channel is called Beauty and the Beer. The guy has a beer. Hey, 2 beers, please, mis amigos. The Australia. I think they might be in New York right now. How's New York going, Darren? Glad you tuned in. We're about to end. Like every time I'm about to end this, more people join. This seems like the endless chat. I'm gonna give Darren a second if he wants to respond. I'm curious if he's in New York right now. He's a vlogger friend of mine. I think he was in Toronto. You guys, check out his channel, 2 Beers Please. You want a cool travel vlogging channel? Darren does a great job. Definitely check that out. Sick. I think he's in New York. I don't know if you heard my question. All right, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. If you're new here, subscribe for sure. Hit that little bell so you get more notifications. Sick crazy. Talking about New York. Yes, sick crazy. Everything possible. That's it. It's a great way to describe New York. Guys, muchas gracias. Hasta la próxima.
Thank you, and thank you for being patient with my English.
Nice to meet you, Manny. Hola, Monica. Hasta la próxima. Ciao, guys.